ready for a fight. That's about
Right.
it.
Right. July 18th, Glory Legion FC 14, right?
I believe so, or
Okay.
18
Eight,
maybe.
uh, there you go. It's not
Something like
UFC.
that.
It's not Fight Island. It's it's
Right.
pretty
I just
iconic.
show up and I fight. All right. So.
Soon. Okay. Before I do want to hit that Saturday coming up. But let me ask real quick, because you fought real early in the year,
Mhm.
especially in a weird spot. You said it was a slip and slide, everything in between. How was it to kind of wait through this pandemic and kind of, winners want to fight more, and especially when you get a bad taste in your mouth, it's probably,
Mhm.
I just want to get in there. You know what I mean? How was it, this process to kind of wait through it?
Right away, it was a little bit of tough. I know that after my last fight, my plan was to get back in the cage as soon as possible and fight.
Right?
Obviously, my last fight was a pretty weird experience. So even though I did want to get that bad taste out of my mouth, I think that maybe it was a blessing in disguise to have a little bit of a break. Uh, I know that for about the first 2 months of the quarantine, I wasn't allowed in the gym at all.
Right.
So, I was still training, doing what I could. I was sparring on the concrete with some guys and just staying in shape. But, to fight during that time would have been really, really difficult. Luckily, I've been back in the gym for months now, training my butt off. So, although things have been crazy and haven't been anywhere close to normal, I'm kind of glad that I had a little bit of weight. I
Okay.
feel great and,
Right.
and I feel prepared. I feel prepared to put on a great performance.
Right.
So
We
I'm
cannot wait.
happy about it.
Awesome. We love you here at Fight Bananas. I remember at the beginning of the year, you were part of the top 4 like hot prospects that people should definitely watch. You're got huge potential, and we
Mhm.
know. I think starting with this fight, you put 2 or 3 in a row, boom, you're
Mhm.
just ready to roll. One thing you said there, I definitely want to hit on. You said, and we'll put the fight to bed. I promise. After this one, you said it was a weird scenario. Can you give us some details on it and kind of just let's after that it's to bed.
For sure. So I fought in Panama, and it was actually my 5th time fighting for that same promotion. So, it's a promotion that I was comfortable with and really liked. I enjoyed going out to Panama and fighting for them.
Right.
This past time, it was a bad experience. When I showed up, I found out the fight was at a catch weight at 120 pounds, which isn't really a big deal, but I'm very small to begin with.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and I was going up against a girl that was 4-0 with 4 finishes. So, that's not really the type of fight that I would like to fight at a catch weight. I found that out last minute. Not that big of a deal. I was already on weight, so it didn't really make a difference. But when I stepped into the cage to fight, the mat was so slippery that
Right.
I didn't even really feel comfortable walking in it. Um, and it's so unfortunate, and I wish it wouldn't have happened, but it happened, and I learned a lot from it. I remember feeling so helpless in the cage, like I couldn't find my footing.
Right.
And people who know me as a fighter know that my speed, my footwork is everything. Um, my boxing footwork, it's how I set up my punches, it's how I feint, it's how I move in and out of trouble, it's how I shoot. Um, so I felt like my biggest weapon was taken away from me,
Right.
and unfortunately, I wasn't really able to gain my footing in order to get the job done. So yeah, it was a shitty night for me, but I've moved on from it, and I'm looking forward to just going in the cage and being able to feel like myself again.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I know it sounds so corny and so cliche, but all the time, especially with your age, how in the business you are, would just be at the time 1-0, right? It's like you win or you learn. Like it's
Yeah.
not that you still got a huge career in front of you. And I remember watching it live on Facebook Live, and we worked together a little bit that week, and we were just so pumped for you. And just I watched you. I know people you talk to and all that, so I just
A
know you,
lot of people were watching that fight.
right?
Of course,
And
it's
trying to, and we've tried to match you up a couple times, and it's very
mm,
hard. And I remember just like seeing your face in a way. It was this, if I could, it was a oh shit moment. Like you walked in the
mhm.
cage and it was like, no, this isn't right. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and like And a big thread we've been talking about lately on the podcast a lot is just the mentality. Like if you're not 100% in there,
Yeah.
if you don't think you can jab the right way, it's going to be a huge effect in your game. So, hey, it's to bed now. It's over.
Yeah, it is what it is. And, like it's still kind of a hard experience to process for me. Especially like, I remember that post you put out about like top 4 prospects. And, I kind of had like all of this push kind of backing my name, and I'm from a big gym and have a lot of potential. And to come off a fight like that, it was hard, but I almost feel like it took the pressure off me a little bit. You know what I mean? I planned to have a big year. Like I wanted to be 5-0 by the end of this year, getting signed to the UFC. But guess what? Things don't always happen that way. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not having all of the eyes on me. I'm okay with not having a perfect record. I think that it gives me an opportunity to come back and really show people what I'm made of. And I think that that's what makes me a special athlete. People don't know my entire story, and I have a lot to show them. And I think coming off a fight like this, I'll be able to do that. And people will see, that even after a loss, I did not stop. I did not skip a step. I did not skip a step. If anything, it motivated me to truly put on the performance of my life. So I'm looking forward to that.
I cannot wait. July 18th, and we'll another subject we'll talk about in a second. But I want to hit on something else. You haven't skipped a step. We see you at Phil DeRue's place, and you're just killing it. See you training with Mike Davis all the time, and Mike is such a strong guy, and you're just right there, just doing the same thing. George Masvidal is fighting Saturday night. The main event, maybe arguably the biggest name in the sport, and his record is. Honestly, I know he has 13 or 14 losses. I don't even know it off the top of my head. The grind to get there. I saw some kind of stat. I think Ryan Quinn put it up. Like he has 48 professional fights, the most fights ever to get to a title match. Like there's different roads. Like MMA is not boxing. You don't have to be 42-0 to get a fight against.
True.
So it's just like even Amanda went through. It's just everyone's different roads. So, I think it's just
I love that you said that. I'll never forget after my last fight, my first pro loss, I got a text from Mike Brown saying, he was giving me a list of female fighters who started off their careers with losses. And Amanda was one of them. Wiley Zhang was one of them.
Yes.
And I love that you brought up Masvidal because you're right. Everyone has a different journey, and the fans can say, what the journey should look like or what makes a fighter great. But look at Masvidal. And what that takes is to just not quit, just to keep going, and not listening to what people have to say. And I respect Masvidal a lot for what he's done in this sport.
For sure. And another one that really just jumped to my head, too, because, I do want to talk about at Fight Island UFC 251 Saturday night. I'm so goddamn excited. So excited. Rose Namajunas, who is almost, I don't know any fight fan or media member or fighter that doesn't love Rose. She's just one of those fighters, too. Her record's 8-4. Like, that's her record. And she was a champion. She's a fan favorite. She's like an all-time great. She's 8-4.
Yeah, she's 8-4.
Yeah.
It's so weird to think that she only has 12 pro fights.
Right.
She's at the top of the top. That's wow.
She was in Invictus so quick. That's what kind of we'll transition there. Especially, I feel like I got a little bit behind the curtain on it. It's hard. We tried to match you up twice for pro events, island fights in the Panhandle, and it's just hard to match you up with the record and, like you said, the buzz behind you and ATT and all that. So when you got this fight with Global, is it hard to kind of put your chips in the basket if you really haven't worked with them before and you don't know about them? Or, like it seems like Danny Sabatello, another one. He loves fighting for Titan. He has a great relationship with Lex. It feels like it's a partnership, and it feels like you haven't captured that yet, if that I'm trying to say.
What a question. It is funny you asked that. I remember in the beginning of my career, I was thinking, man, I have so much potential. Like I have this marketability. Why is it so difficult to find a promotion that wants to back me? And I guess I just realized that, the promotions, they have their own agendas. They have
Sure.
their own things to take care of. They have to find ways to make money. And I understand it's not always about building the fighters, and sometimes things are out of their control, like with island fights and being able to find opponents.
Right.
Um, so yeah, like in a sense, I do think about it. And, I do kind of wish I had that promotion to back me, and that place to call home, the promotion to get comfortable with.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm okay with it. I feel like, traveling to different areas and fighting for different promotions is only going to get me more experience. I like the fact that, things aren't handed to me, because, I mean, regardless, I'm just going to figure out a way to get it,
Right.
you
I love it.
know?
And it's so funny too. So you're fighting Shannon Goodry, right?
Hmm.
And Shannon was one of the girls we talked to.
Yeah.
We were trying to match that up, and I think she actually had a fight in Bellator, if I remember offhand. It had to be 8 months ago. But yeah, she was like weeks away, and if that fell through, she was going to accept it. So it's kind of funny. It is a small world.
Yeah.
We were talking about that fight late December of last year. Now we're in July. July 18th. You were fighting, and she's good. She's really good. She's a veteran. I saw her live. She fought Hannah Goldie in a main event
Hmm.
over there at Island Fights, and she's tough as nails. So I think it's a really good contest for
Hmm.
you, a really good match. Have you watched Shannon? Do you have any kind of takes on Shannon Goodry?
I have watched a few fights, most specifically her last fight, which was in Bellator against
Right.
Ava Knight. I feel like that's a really good fight for me to watch of hers, just because, Ava and I have similar styles, both boxer, coming from a boxing background. Shannon is obviously very tough. She's a decent grappler. She likes to come forward. She likes to bring the fight. She's aggressive.
Yeah.
But man, when I put these hands on her, it's going to be a different story. So I am looking forward to hitting that right hand on her chin. I'm looking forward to banging her body up and, just doing whatever I got to do to get her out of the cage.
Love it. I love it. That's a video right there. We're going to make that a video. We're sending that to Global. That's a commercial right there. We'll get people in buying the event. We're going to get to UFC 251. Last kind of thing on you that, it's weird. I've seen it with you over the last year, and I'm kind of like taken aback about it in a great way. You work so much with Kayla Harrison, and,
Hmm.
everything. It's kind of wild what happened with PFL this year. And
Hmm.
course, American Top Team and everything with Sid. And then I see you lately. It's your knees up with Amanda Nunes and Nina.
Hmm.
You work with the greatest fighters on this planet, like Mount Rushmore. Even Dana White's like, yeah, Amanda is the GOAT. Like, there's no doubt about it. Do you ever just kind of pinch yourself and be like, holy crap, like this is who's kind of helping me build up. This is kind of people that are putting stuff in the shed for me. So how is it to train and get knowledge with the GOATs?
You know what? I pinch myself every single day, I think, still. I've been at ATT about 3.5 years, and still to this day, like, I pinch myself when I walk through the doors, and it's humbling. I feel very, very fortunate to have so many good mentors, to be able to learn from so many people. I had a
Right.
lot of people when Dean left ATT. I had a lot of people reach out to me wondering, are you going to follow him? Are you going to stay? Where are you going to go? And, I feel very confident that I'm at the right place, with or without a head coach. I feel like I have an endless amount of people to learn from. And I'm just fortunate for that. So I'm going to take advantage of it and make the most of it.
Right. And that's kind of, some people like ice cream, some people like cake. There's no
Yeah.
wrong, right? Like,
Hmm.
Jillian looks like does better with that one-on-one
Hmm.
connection with Dean all in. And, she had a great performance. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's no reason that you're going to, 4 wins in the next 8 months there. And American Top
Hmm.
Team, the greatest gym in the world. Last little thing, I know I'm going to say UFC 251 9 times, but Phil Daru, he kind of left as well. I don't even want to get into the drama part of it. No need to. But, he's got his own thing going, and I love seeing you train Costa, Weaver, and Davis, and, JDS, all this stuff. How is it to, no, it just seems like it's very metal. It's old school.
Yeah.
It's Rocky-esque. How is it at Phil Daru's new joint?
Yeah, so Phil's new gym, I feel like, wow, I feel like he's taken things to a different level. I really do. He has kind of like new machines, new equipment.
Okay.
torture us with. And it's been really, really good. I've been working with Phil 3 days a week for the past few months now.
Oh, nice.
I feel like I'm stronger than ever. I'm more lean than ever. I'm actually lighter than ever.
Yeah.
So I really feel a difference in myself, in my body, and my performances. And we have a really good crew working there as well. Like you brought up Mike and Randy.
Yeah.
These guys are kind of new to ATT, but we've built like a good, solid group. And, they push me. We're all doing the same workouts. And,
Right.
so I feel pushed by these guys and just pushed to be better and better. So yeah,
That's
I'm very, very grateful for Phil. He's been
very,
a huge part of my camp.
right. Right. And it just, the proof is in the pudding. I think that's the
Yeah.
analogy. Dustin Poirier, he like really, bides by him. And let's hit on that real quick. That was one of the best fights I've ever seen. And it looks like all the score books. When I'm watching the fight, I try not to score. It feels like it's too, like when I'm watching a movie, like I'm not trying to figure it out right away. I'm just kind of enjoying the movie.
Yeah.
So even me and it's just weird. I try really not to score it, but afterwards everyone's like Hooker won the first two, so Dustin had to win 3, 4, and 5, and that's what he did. It was just one of the best fights ever. I just loved it. What's your take on DP's last performance?
Wow. DP is a warrior. Nobody can deny that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this man gets the credit he deserves, but he really is a true warrior. That fight is scary. I mean, I wouldn't want to be his coach in the corner. Like I would not want to be Mike. I would not want to be Daya thinking
Yeah.
like, all right, man, how many times do you got to get hit to wake up? But
Right.
there's just something about Dustin, he likes that grind and I think that's what helps bring out the best in him.
It does.
And I would imagine a lot of people after the first 2 rounds counted Dustin out.
Probably. Probably.
Like tired, hurt, down 2 rounds in a championship fight. But no, you can't count him out. You just can't ever.
And it's crazy because, looking at him, he's a family guy. Like you always, I think of Dustin as me as a dad. I always see him with his girl. So I think dad, he's got nice hair. He's a good looking guy. And then in the cage, he's the exact opposite. He's like a total grinder, like he wants he wants the touch. Like he wants it. Yeah. He wants to get hit a little bit. And I saw a crazy tweet about like his last 5 opponents. It's like the greatest 5 opponent run ever. Like it's Max Holloway and Habib, Hooker, I think Gaethje and Alvarez. It's like something like
that's pretty incredible.
And he's 4-1 in it. Like he's amazing. It's like I agree with you. He probably doesn't get the all-time or the big respect that he deserves. Well, okay, UFC 251's Fight Island Saturday night. We're here. So excited. We kind of hit the main event a little bit. There's 2 great female fights on the card as well. So I would love your take. Let's start at the top. We'll work our way down. Masvidal, a week notice versus Usman. Who wins it?
Masvidal. Got to go with Masvidal. I have to. Of
course.
I have to.
And I'm going to throw out 2 kind of oddball ideas on this. One, I keep hearing, and I literally talk into a microphone about MMA for a living, so I hear a lot. All I hear is that Masvidal he needs to, 1, knock him out early, like first round, something spectacular, knock him out, or Usman's going to grind him for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm 2 left ball field. It's MMA. It's never goes as way as planned. I can see Masvidal, kind of what he did to Diaz a little bit, just picking him apart. Like he never gets the TKO. He never gets the crazy finish. But Usman stood with Colby for 23 minutes, and I think Masvidal has more power than Colby. So I can see Georgie winning 25 minutes, and like no one agrees with that, and that's crazy. And then the second little thing is, I think if I had to predict it, I think Masvidal wins via submission. I think in some kind of Usman leans on him and tries to wrestle him, and he gets him in one of these guillotines. Who I hate bringing it up because I love the guy, Violent Bob Ross, who like he was in Kama Worthy's little socket there for too long, and Worthy just bit it up. I think Masvidal can do the same thing to Usman. What do you think about those ideas?
I think there's 2 types of fans when it comes to Masvidal. I think half the fans think Masvidal is a god and can knock anybody out, which he can knock anyone out. But I think half the people think he's a god, and I think the other half underestimate him. And I think they see all the losses on his record, and they don't really understand how good of a fighter he is.
Right.
He's been in this sport a very, very long time. Experience goes a long way. And I think people also don't understand how hard the guy trains.
Right.
I mean, he's been in the gym. He's been working. He pulls some of the best athletes from all over the world to come and work with him for hours and hours. So, that's something that I'm fortunate to see, the way some of these guys grind in the gym that nobody else sees. That probably didn't answer your question, but that's just kind of a different take. Like, I think anyone has a chance in a fight. And I think that people who believe that Masvidal isn't skilled enough to win this fight, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. You don't get that high in mixed martial arts for that long and not be skilled. And two, I love what you said there. I'm going to take it is everyone sees he does, the Instagram live stuff, tequila, and, it is what it is. And a lot of people love the street Jesus image. And he puts that out there, and it's awesome. People are eating pizza a different way because of game bread. But I know it too. I talk to the people. The man, no one trains harder than him. Like, the man in the gym all the time, grinding, wrestling with Bo Nickel. Like, come on now. Like, he's doing the work. Like, he's putting in the time, and he's a grinder. He's always been a grinder. Like, first and foremost, before the money, he was a grinder, and you just never did that, I think. So I can't wait. I have game bread winning. I think he does honestly win via submission. I really do. That's my call.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
On an island, on the beach. It's incredible.
Oh, man. He really saved the day, that's for sure.
For sure. And then co-main event, Holloway versus Volkanovski.
That's a fight.
Yeah, okay. Who wins it? How do they win? Who pulls it out? You go first here.
Oh, man. To be honest, I haven't thought about it too much. I'm just so excited to see this fight. Both of these fighters are top-notch. I really, really like both of them. I love Volkanovski's style. I love Holloway. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can choose.
Okay. I'm going to go Volkanovski. One thing I've learned a lot about MMA is when someone has your number, kind of you punch the card. And to me, Max Holloway has been in so many of those wars. One was with Dustin, and he's just been around a long time. He's fought everybody, been through so much. And it's kind of reminds me of the analogy, and I put it out a couple podcasts ago, is when Frankie Egner beat BJ Penn. And he kind of upset him a little bit like Volkanovski did Holloway. And then they rematched, and everyone thought Penn was going to beat him. And everyone thinks, I feel like a lot of people are behind Holloway. I just think Volkanovski just does it again. Another 25 minutes. Nothing, crucial, nothing major. Just, leg kicks, inside jabs, and just controls the fight.
Yeah, I think people underestimate him a little bit just because he's not, like, in the limelight.
Right.
Man, I've studied him a bit, and he is a genius at picking his opponents apart. He really is, and he's got speed, he's got power. He has all the skills necessary, really, to beat anyone in the world. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
That gym's on fire. They have Tanya, Volkanovski, and Hooker. And, some people thought Hooker won versus Dustin. Izzy is, maybe right now the second hottest name in the business. So Volkanovski champ, like they're doing something right. There's something in the water over there. Last title fight, to me, it's like this new school versus old school. I love this fight. I like it a lot. And this is under the radar too. Jan versus Aldo. What's your
take? This reminds me of the co-main event. Like, two fighters who are extremely skilled, could kind of go either way. Man, I don't know.
Really?
I envision a back and forth war. Really do.
Okay. And this one, I'm going to go with Aldo. I'm going to go with kind of the experience. I think he's been in that cage so many times. I think he knows too, this is probably his last title fight. If he doesn't win it, it's kind of hard. The weight class, him getting back. And Jan, who I love a lot, I kind of checked out his last 4 or 5 fights, and I grew up California kid, Uriah Faber. I love me some Faber, but he fought him 5 months ago, kind of out of retirement. Jan hasn't fought any top 10 guys. Aldo's been fighting top 10 guys for a decade. Like, literally, like, not even like we joke about it. He's literally fought top 10 guys for a decade straight. I just think the experience and the competition he's fought is just so much better than Jan. I really like Aldo as a little underdog here.
Is he the underdog for this fight?
He is. Yeah, he's
he
like
is. Wow.
plus 180 or 190.
Oh, wow.
You want to make some money, you know?
Wow. You got to have money to put down money. But...
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
after Saturday, July 18th.
That's going to be a good one, man.
It is. It is. And the last two, and we'll let you go. We appreciate your time, Kayla, always.
Of course.
Rose and Jessica, the rematch. I love this fight. We love Rose. We talked about it earlier. She was winning the first time for 7 minutes, and then Jessica, crashed her on her head. Do you see Rose coming back getting the W, or do you think Jessica's going to win again?
I do. I think, man, Rose's performance in the beginning of that fight was one of the most spectacular displays of boxing that I think I've ever seen in MMA.
Wow.
I think Rose wins this fight. I actually think she might dominate the fight.
Me too.
I'm gonna go with Rose. Yeah.
Me too. And I think I think she stops her. Like first, I do. I think and Jessica's great. She really is a great fighter. I just think Rose. I think she knows she should have won that fight in a way. It's a little bit of a comeback, and all that. So I love Thug Rose. Last one, Paige Van Zandt kind of coming back. It looks like maybe for the last time in the UFC. She wants a deal. She has Instagram money, so on and so on. She's fighting Rivas, who's 9-1, an absolute stud.
Yeah.
And that's your division, right? They're strawweights, right?
Yep. Well, actually, I think this fight is at 125.
Oh, okay.
But both of them have fought at strawweight.
Right.
Wow. So I got a few things to say about this. First of all, Amanda is the real deal, and I think people can see that. I think she has found a way to really pick apart her competition. She's very, very well rounded. I've sparred with her very, very many times. It's not fun. Oh yeah, Amanda Rivas. Yeah, she's ATT.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, not for this camp because she wasn't able to travel from Brazil. But for her past few fights, I've sparred her 2-3 days a week, every single week. She is a tough girl. She's tough. She's focused. She's strong. She's fast. She's precise. I mean, that girl really does have everything it takes to make her way to the top.
Right.
I will say, I do not like the disrespect that Paige Van Zandt gets. I really don't.
Okay.
And I think that I don't like the fact that people say she's not a true fighter. Like people have no idea what a fighter goes through.
Right.
The girl broke her arm how many times, went to rehab, still came back looking for a fight. There's some respect that you have to give for someone like that. That's not someone who's trying to hide from fighting. No, that's someone who's working her butt off to try to get back and to try to fight. And
I'm so happy you're so happy.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Any person, female or male, that walks into the octagon, at least on my side, I respect. So that's first and foremost. And two is everyone keeps on bringing that up, and that's why I said it in a snarky remark about Instagram money. Guys, and TikTok and sponsors and all that, she has all that. Like, she doesn't need to get tested for Corona in Vegas, do a 24-hour flight to Abu Dhabi, be quarantined for 2 days in one room, and fight on the biggest card of the year against a 9-1 badass fighter. Like, she doesn't need to. But I agree with you. She is a fighter, and she I think she kind of has a little. She wants to prove something. Like, hey, this is a girl, in Amanda who has a lot of hot stock, a lot of rising stock. I think she wants to put, water on it and kind of push her up to the next level. So we're in agreement. I agree with you. I think I like Amanda in the fight, to be honest. Yeah. But I think definitely she's a huge underdog. She's the biggest underdog in the last, it was like 22 UFC events. Like, she's a huge underdog, and it's pretty wild.
I mean, I will say, like, I agree. I don't think this is a good fight for her. I don't think it's a good matchup for her. But, man, I don't like the disrespect. Like, the girl, I'm sure the girl trains very hard. I don't like the fact that people say she doesn't have skills, because she's fought good good competition and has finished them. Like, it's not fair. Just because she's a pretty girl and she uses her social media in order to make money, that's smart. She would be stupid to not do that. You know what I mean? So, like, fans are weird, man.
Oh
and,
my.
And I'm learning that early, and I'm glad I'm learning that early because they hop on the train, they hop off the train whenever the hell they want. First they'll be your biggest fan, and then they're talking crap on your Instagram photos. Like,
Right.
man, if you're a fan like that, you're whack.
I agree. Kayla, you know how many people try to hate on the hair? Like, that's my
Oh,
trademark.
come
Hair.
on.
It's like, they're like, oh, what kind of shampoo you put in it? I'm like, good shampoo, because it's
Yeah,
great
right?
hair, and I take care of it. It's like, come on, gee whiz. I'm looking at Paige, and yeah, she lost to Michelle. I remember that, but she beat Rachel. She's beat Alex Chambers. She's beat Felicia. She did lose to Rose, but losing to Rose is no biggie. So, man, it's been a while.
Paige is a tough girl. Like, I
Yeah.
think people forget. Maybe it was the fight against Rose, but
Yeah.
People forget her face covered in blood coming after it. Like, man, I don't care how pretty or ugly you are. That is a warrior.
Right.
These fans that are talking bad about her, let her punch you or kick you once in the face.
For sure.
See what you do. Come on.
They're talking snap on laptop, and Paige Van Zant's in the middle of the cage, bleeding and breaking her arm and getting W's. That's the world we live in. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy, but hey, on your Instagram, KRock MMA, that's why I get paid the big bucks. There's a transition right there. Make sure you guys give her a follow. July 18th is going down. It's a great fight. It's a really big test. Shannon has a lot of ringmanship, a lot of veteran time in it. It's a really good test for you. I'm so excited. Is there like a pay-per-view link, or is there a website link that you know of to watch it?
I think it's on fight.tv, FICE.tv.
Yep. It's got an app. That's a good app.
There you go.
I like it. Man. Kayla, we always love talking to you. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll talk to you after you win on July 18th.
Right. Thank you so much. Good to talk to you.
Always. Later. Bye.